Do you think there's a lot of kind of untapped talent in the South Coast? Obviously, it's a little bit further away. I live in London. There's untold talent, but everybody wants to kind of get to London because they feel like that's the place where all the talent is. But there's talent all over England, isn't there? Do you feel there's a lot of untapped talent there, and can people find some real gems in the South Coast?
Absolutely. I think Weymouth, I think I listened to Jace Matthews the other way. Weymouth's slightly different in the fact that, it is right on the, we're nearer France than the northeast, if you like, from where I'm from. But it's out on a limb, if you like. And, you got Yeovil, which is 45 minutes away. You got Bournemouth, 45 minutes away. So to bring a class of player into Weymouth back in the day was tough because you had to pay the money to travel for a start. Now, I've lived in this town for 25 years now, and I see on the fields, on the sports field, just down the road from me, thousands and thousands of kids kicking a ball about. There's loads of youth teams, but there never is enough sort of local talent coming through for Weymouth, which baffles me, to be fair. I don't think it's the coaching. I don't know whether it's a sort of seaside mentality, the town we live in, but I was up in the field the other day. I was looking and think surely over the years there is enough talent around here to go on and make a living out of it. And it's a shame. It's a shame, really. Like you say, in the London, you've got a big sort of area there, Bristol nearby to us, I suppose, big catchment areas. But in little sort of Dorset, there isn't as much. I know Bournemouth obviously are on the map now. And like I was saying about the young lads going there, and then getting told at the end of it there's nothing for them. And I think, like Shem said, it is a detriment. And sometimes their heads drop and think, well, that's it. But at the end of the day, it's one man's opinion. I've been sat in an office a few times saying, look, you're not good enough. We don't want you. But you can either go two ways. You can drop your head, or you can be determined to say, well, I'm going to prove you wrong, mate. And it's only one man's opinion at the end of the day. But it'd be lovely to see a bit more talent coming out of the sort of, like you say, the South Coast. There's certainly Dorset, as I said, with Weymouth as they are now. They're in the National League, and hopefully young kids will look at that now and think, well, let's have a go. This day and age, you've got social media, and you got, is it FIFA and Xbox, and the more interested in playing that than going out and kicking a ball about, which, but I'm a dinosaur now, so I don't know much about that, really.
No, I agree. The kids aren't out enough, just kind of, kicking a ball or doing something sporty, getting that exercise. It's something that's kind of missed, I think. I was at the park for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah.
Like, it's different times and things like that. But, those
jumpers for goalpost and all that. Yeah.
And I think as well, I think that almost lends itself to some of the coaching that happens in the academy environments, because I'm the same as you guys. I just played on the streets. I played in the park. I didn't get into any sort of professional setup until I was 16 anyway, 15, 16 anyway. So I just learnt my game playing with my mates, playing at school, just playing all the time. So when I was doing coaching, I was very much of the opinion to try and get players to play. So we'd put sessions on when it was just literally getting them to play the game and express themselves, as opposed to being very religious on your drills. Now, you can obviously instill your tactics, your strategies, and all the rest of it, which needs to be done. But initially, you want to see players enjoy the game, and there's no more enjoyment you get than when you do that little trick, you do that little drop of a shoulder, you nutmeg somebody, and you put the ball in the back of the net, even though the coach might be thinking, oh, he could have lost it there. But you can't coach that sort of thing out. I don't think you should. You should allow that to happen as much as you can, and then you can kind of tailor that to what you need in your team, your squad, as you develop a player. But development of a player is certainly the most important thing, and that's why I was always very keen to let the kids express themselves as much as possible, as opposed to conditioning them to certain ways of playing at an early age.
Yeah, and that's such a great point, because for me, when I was a kid growing up, I always found that when I played football, whether it be just with my mates, on my own, it was always my place of freedom. And I think you're right in terms of expressing yourself. That was where you was able to kind of it was you and the ball, and you was able to just escape everything as a kid and just concentrate on what you love, that passion that you love, and express yourself. And I think that does get lost sometimes now, because there is so much pressure in the way that the game's gone and is now. There's so much pressure on kids to really kind of be, you know, be doing things all of the time based on the fact that, you know, you want to be a pro. That's the bit where it becomes dangerous, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're scared to make mistakes. You then become scared to make mistakes, and mistakes is how you learn. You know, all the best professionals in the game learnt by trying something. It didn't work. They tried it again. It might not have worked then, and they try again. I'm finding, even in watching my own team Spurs play, some players are scared to make mistakes, and once they do make that mistake, it's like it changes their whole mentality and the mental side of it. It's not even strong enough that, you know, we need to do a lot more on the mental side of the game, I think. But
Yeah,
it shows you who can, and who, as I was saying earlier, who's got that ability to be able to take that criticism and let that enhance their game as opposed to be a detriment to their game.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. It's knowing your players, isn't it? Like you say, some need to be wrapped in cotton wool, others you can have a right go at to get a reaction from. So if you have a go at a lad who's a bit timid, his head will go down, whereas you get someone a bit more bullish, you have a pop at them and they'll say, right, I'll show you, son. And it's just knowing your players, isn't it?
Yeah,
Definitely.
no, definitely. Gents, that was a fantastic conversation. I really enjoyed that, and so many kind of teachable points for people to pick up on and learn from, and also pass that on to, you know, their kids who may be going through that journey as well, and their journey to